Yo, what up, people? It's your boy, the Kryptonian, saying here, bringing you a review for One Piece chapter 333. And this ain't a 5 out of 5, but it's pretty damn close. And the reason why is Oda, I'm a sucker for feels, man. So, Oda ending it off with, the whole crew in tears, saying they can never come back to the merry-go. Very nice touch. In particular, I like the usage of flashbacks where the stuff I've been talking about, like, God damn it, Oda, you motherfucker. I was thinking a lot of this shit. I kept saying, oh, there are different things where it's positioning, where Luffy and Usopp are together, and Usopp's kind of challenging, and you see the moments that I was thinking in my head, and some of them I kind of voiced out to you guys. You see them. And so you see the one scene where Luffy, he had been sitting and he says, oh, this is my special seat. And Usopp's like, oh, let's switch, Luffy. And you just see the different moments. Like one of the first flashbacks we see is Usopp declares himself as captain. And you see like the little jolly moments. And I told you, like at the end of the day, Luffy's like, I'm really the captain. This is just Usopp doing whatever. But it's like you see the progression and how Usopp started to accept it, but that isn't by mistake. The first flashback we see is Usopp saying, I'm the ruler of this village. I'm Captain Usopp. Fear. Those are very strong words. Captain, fear, ruler is showing a position of power. And so when you have stuff like that, it doesn't necessarily just go away. And so it makes the opening of this chapter so well because Usopp's like, oh, I know that ain't enough to finish you off, Luffy. That ain't gonna be enough to kill you. And you got Chopper at the end of the fight. Chopper, even though Usopp said we're no longer shipmates, leave me the fuck alone, Chopper still wants to heal him. And I thought that that's, again, tying into the bonds, which did make reading Luffy versus Usopp concluding so hard to get through. Again, you have to tip your hat to Usopp because you have moments where Usopp is continuing to fight through, and he's got flashes of brilliance where he uses the impact dial to send back Luffy's attack. I believe it was the Gum Gum pistol. Send the force back at him at point blank range. But that was one of those moments where Luffy gets hit with it. Usopp's in pain, and Luffy's just looking, and he's just like, are you fucking serious right now? And what this really reminds me of, I'm not calling Usopp a bitch, by the way. And the reason why I'm not going to call him a bitch is Usopp, he fought what he believed in, but he went out like a bitch. And what I mean by he went out like a bitch in is Usopp, if Oda was going to do this where Usopp is going to be disbanded from the crew, he shouldn't accept it, Chopper's medicine. I would have liked it better if Usopp, as banged up as he is, he walks off on his own. Or he walks into the Mary by himself. So that's why I said I feel like he went out like a bitch in that sense. Though it was very honorable the fight he had. So it's like I'm almost using the wrong words. But getting into it, Luffy, he ends up trying to use the different attacks, and Usopp's got counters for them. At one point, he's got the exploding stars, he's got the shurikens going, he's got the cactuses. Like, it's little small stuff where Usopp's like, I'm not going to lose. And that's why I wanted to see Usopp. The last panel we get is Usopp having his moment with the merry-go after Luffy says this is it, and those guys are crying. I would love to see that, not Usopp spread eagle with the medicine there. I just wanted something else because this is a chapter where it is monumental for Usopp's growth. It is monumental. Oda's doing a good job of fleshing out secondary characters, with this being Usopp. It was monumental for his growth. I can't stress that enough. So I'm not really disappointed necessarily with his decision to flesh out Usopp. I just hate how it was executed at the end. I feel like everything was perfect up until that ending. So, and I'm not talking about the Straw Hats, I'm talking about Usopp's ending. But this whole thing, when I saw Luffy take that impact dial at point blank range, Luffy was shocked. He had that shocked expression. I think it was more so he was shocked, like, oh shit, Usopp is continuing. He playing out every step of this. And I think he's coming to the conclusion that Zoro did, where it was, oh shit, he's controlling the fight. But it was never out of hand. And you know that after Luffy tanks the attack, and after he takes out Usopp, he says, it's been fun, Usopp, and he's walking off. That really reminded me a couple of years ago where my ex and I were having this really, really big fight. And one of the things that happened was she got so pissed where it wasn't my fault. I know you hear that a lot. She wasn't mad at me. She was mad at something else, but she ended up taking it off on me or taking it out on me. And so she's like throwing the punches and everything, and I'm just taking it. And I'm getting pissed because don't get me wrong, I'm getting fucking hit. And the girl worked out, so the punches fucking hurt, okay? The punches hurt. I'm man up to admit, like, yo, the punches hurt. The slaps hurt. But I just took the shit. I'm like, this really ain't about me. And I feel like that's how Luffy's looking at the thing with Usopp, is that he's saying goodbye, but Usopp's got some other stuff he's got to work through as well. And that's why I feel like Luffy had opportunities to where he probably could have just one-shotted Usopp at the very beginning. But he said, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to let you get everything out. Because I think in the back of Luffy's mind, he knows that there's a chance Usopp's coming back and he's not going to fuck it up. But they need to have it out in order for that to happen. Because Usopp has his pride as a man. And before Captain or anything else, Luffy is a man. And I feel like that's one of the things that he did learn from Shanks. In that if you're going to fight, it's got to be for something. I feel like this is more of Usopp's Shanks moment, where he didn't have a badass moment like Shanks where he's fighting, but he's fighting for what he believes in. And I feel like this is something that probably got picked up from being around Shanks. You know, Luffy kind of seeing how he interacts with his crew. So that was cool to see that. And I like how Zoro, in that moment, he's the one who reaches out to Luffy. He's the first one to reach out, where after Sanji tells Chopper to vanquish Soul, pity and mercy is the worst thing you can do. Don't try to help Usopp. The best way you can help him is to leave him alone. Which is why I was like, why the fuck is the medicine? I'm really hoping somebody clarifies to me. Maybe I misread it. I'm really hoping Chopper did not give him that fucking medicine. I hope Usopp just got that shit on his own. That would make me look at this chapter completely differently. Okay? So that's my chapter question. Did I miss something on that? But what Zoro tells Luffy is that you're the captain. Tough decisions like this happen. And because those things happen, you have to be firm in your conviction. He didn't say firm in your conviction. This is me paraphrasing now. But you have to be firm in your conviction, because if you falter, if you waver, who are we going to follow? Who are we going to look to for guidance? And that was huge, because one is Zoro saying it. Zoro's like the badass on the crew. They're all badasses. But it just registers more coming from Zoro because of the way his character is drawn. He's kind of stocky. He's got the sword. Zoro has a very masculine look. And so for him to say that, and for Luffy to be looking up at him, it's very good. And the fact that there's distance between Luffy and Zoro and the rest of the crew, it just shows at this point, because of how the panel is placed and because of where they are in the panel, it's Oda showing that there's a distance that is growing between Luffy and his crew. But it's not anything serious because of Zoro's words. But in that moment, Luffy probably felt detached from his crew, because Luffy looks at them like family. He basically had to cut family off. And that hurts. That hurts. So that was beautiful, man. Overall, very, very good chapter. Like I said, almost a 5 out of 5. Couldn't quite do it. I've already asked my chapter question to you guys. So if you like anything I had to say, hit that like button, as it really helps out the channel. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. And don't forget to share. Thank you for watching Kryptonian Saying, guys.